if I unfollow you, you're still going to be posting your own stuff. And it's not that I hate that you post stuff. Listen, do you, boo, whatever. That's not an issue for me at all. But sometimes I do wonder, like, okay, are you all really doing this just for you, as you say? Or are you doing it for whatever? And if you are, that's cool. I'm not hating on that. I'm enjoying it. You like it, I love it, kind of thing. But it does feel like you said, that it's about, let me get this validation. There's something that is devoid in my life. What's up, everybody? You've tuned in to Just Drawz, the podcast that explores hot topics and various experiences among same-gender loving Black men. In each episode, we offer raw, vulnerable, and stripped-down perspectives to give voice to our frequently overlooked population. Here, we don't just scratch the surface, we dive deep, peeling back the layers of our experiences as well as heteronormative stereotypes. Let's get into this week's episode.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Just Drawz podcast, where we keep it vulnerable,
raw, stripped down,
and authentically just us. I am Jeff.
And I'm Darius, aka DMC.
All right, so grab a drink.
Or keep your hands on the wheel.
Readjust your support and
let's get into it.
All right, so tonight we are coming from a Burger King bathroom.
I just left a Burger King. How awesome.
Awesome. Was this for lunch today or breakfast?
It was. I grabbed lunch after I left the gym. And so the Burger King that I went to specifically they serve lunch all day, which I had not heard of that. And so I was like, oh, well, I'm going to just go over here and grab lunch because I had a meeting right before this. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to just grab this food. And so I did that. So it was cool. It was good.
Awesome. Yeah, I also had breakfast at Burger King today.
Oh, nice. Look at us being in sync. I usually only hit Burger King on Wednesdays for Whopper Wednesdays. So those of you who have the Burger King app, you get a Whopper every Wednesday for $3.99, $4.23 with tax.
Not this unpaid promo.
That's right. So Burger King, if you feel like you would like to sponsor Just Drawz, please reach out to the Just Drawz podcast at gmail.com.
Right. Or hit us up in the DMs.
Exactly.
Yeah. We went walking today, me and my boyfriend, and there was a Burger King near the park where we went to. So
okay, nice. So y'all went to go be healthy and then was like, ooh,
yep.
Let's go over here
and let's go get
flame broiled. Yeah.
Fat croissant.
That's right. Fat ass croissant and put all of it back on. Exactly.
Pretty much just, totally erasing whatever progress that we made today. But no, it's good. We'll be fine.
And speaking of fat asses, what is our episode about today?
Well, it's going to be about something that we are just talking about, which is food. So we talk about relationships a lot on this podcast, but we will not be talking about your boyfriend. We will not be talking about trying to get your friends.
That's right.
Or trying to get a date or any of that. Right. We are talking about our relationship with food. The good, the bad, the delectable, the delicious, the guilty pleasures, all those things that we get from food, our childhood memories, dealing with some social issues with food, or we're coming into the holidays as we record this, the culture around food, and just some of the cheat meals that we like, which for me does not really include Burger King. I don't consider Burger King a cheat meal. I wouldn't waste a cheat meal on Burger King.
That's a standard. That's a standard.
I wouldn't even say it's a standard. I've probably been 2 or 3 months since I've last had Burger King. So,
See, it's a standard for me.
Yeah,
it's a standard for me.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Right. Exactly.
All right. So to break things up, or at least break the ice tonight. So what's something that you've eaten that you would not put on Instagram, like something like greasy?
That I would not put on Instagram?
That you would not put on Instagram.
Okay. That would be a person, because I think that should be between me and them.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. I don't want you to put anyone on blast, but we're talking about something edible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could Maybe call it that. Delectable, at least, like you said earlier. No, I don't know that there are any things that I would not put on Instagram because I don't eat crazily like that. So the things that I do eat, I would think people might want to see. And especially some of the places that I go, I would think that people want to patron, these places. So I can't say that there's anything that I would not put on Instagram. Do you have anything?
I used to take almost a picture of almost everything
what
I used to eat
I
and
remember
post it
that.
online.
I remember that. I remember you doing that.
Yes. So I used to be one of those people, but not that bad. But there hasn't been anything too crazy that I've, eaten and wanted to take a photo of. But there's been plenty of things that I've taken photos of and actually have not posted, but not because I just was ashamed. Ooh, I'm eating this. It just wasn't anything that I felt like I wanted to share at that moment. It's like, oh, this is really good. I may want to recreate something like this later. I like the presentation, but just didn't put it up. I will say, I think one thing that I wouldn't put on Instagram that I did when we went and made pasta, went to a cooking class and made homemade pasta. And it was cool, but the pasta was not pretty. Like the sauce that we made in class, it tasted great. It had a lot of stuff going on. Chicken, spinach, tomatoes, some cream. And it tasted really good, but it was not attractive. It was not cute.
Okay.
So yes, that's something that I would have eaten and not put on the gram. So it would have, it's just going to stay in the phone. That's where it's going to be locked up on the iCloud.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it though. And so, most of the stuff that I cook or I do, aesthetically, it's going to look great. Now, the taste is where the issue is sometimes, because there are times where it's too salted or it's not salted enough or something like that. Like I made some mac and cheese that I ended up freezing some of, and it was so salty. Okay. But I was like, I'm not going to throw this out. I'm just going to freeze this and I'll eat on a little bit of it and whatever else. And then I have hypertension, and I was like, so let me get it. So I ended up getting rid of it just like not too long ago. I was like, yeah, let me just get rid of this because I'm not going to eat that. But aesthetically, it looked great.
Okay.
But yeah, so.
I mean, sometimes the things just don't work out.
They don't.
There's plenty of times where things look great and they don't taste all that good at all. So there's that.
Nope.
All right, cool. Awesome. All right. So let's kind of go into our first segment, which is going to be about memories that we have with food. So what's something that you've eaten as a child that you really loved, really liked, or ate all the time that you don't think about eating now?
And it's crazy. I just thought about something else. But the first thing that came to my mind as you were, once you asked the question, was bananas. I used to eat bananas when I was younger. I'm not saying that they were like my favorite or something that I, could not do without, but I would eat a banana. And I would also eat tomatoes when I was younger, like very sparsely, but I would eat them like that. Do not give me anything with banana in it. Or don't give me anything with a slice of tomato in it, which is weird because I eat everything else tomato. I eat tomato sauce, pizza sauce, ketchup. Sometimes I will eat little diced tomatoes on stuff, but they have to be really small. But if you put a slice of tomato on a sandwich, I'm like, no, take this off. I don't want all of that. Okay. But yeah, that's it. Oh, and I'm not going to say I loved this as a child, but I ate it all the time, and that was thanks to my mother. But spaghetti.
Okay, yeah.
I do not eat spaghetti now. If someone's like, "Oh, I'm going to make spaghetti," I'm going somewhere else. Or I'm going to eat before I get there. I'm like, "No, thanks. I'm good on that." Even it would have to be. It would have to be so transformed that it doesn't resemble spaghetti. So like you would have to put it in a casserole dish and then sprinkle cheese around it and put pepperoni in it and sprinkle some more cheese. It would have to be almost like a lasagna.
Or a baked ziti or something like that. A baked
ziti. And sometimes baked ziti is interesting. I'll say it like that.
Okay.
But it's usually, spaghetti. Like if you just have some meat sauce and some pasta, no, I'm good on that. Or I might just eat the meat sauce, but I don't want spaghetti. What
So is
about
it
you?
the pasta or is it the pasta sauce that's the issue?
It's the fact that my mother made it all the time, and I'm
Okay.
sick of it. Yeah,
Okay.
every time, it's the quick meal. It's the quick, like, oh, I'm gonna make some spaghetti.
Mhm.
You go grab some meat, a jar of pasta sauce, and some pasta, 3 ingredients. You got it, because you can get the pasta sauce with the what is it, the mushrooms or the green
Mhm.
peppers or whatever in it, and you can get all that, and you just dump all that together, and you're good to
Call it
go.
a day.
So, and
Yeah.
call it a day. Yeah, I was sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Okay.
Oh, I just
I
thought of
can.
something else too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can see that. My experience with spaghetti is not that because most of the time when we had it, it was
Hmm.
always the sauce was homemade from scratch.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
the pasta sauce, tomato sauce rather,
Hmm.
tomato paste, the fresh chopped onions and celery and peppers and all that. So when we had spaghetti growing up, it was like a big deal because it was like coming from the can and into
Hmm.
this melange of different things
Okay,
versus, oh, here's
nice
some
word.
Prego and ragu and here you go,
Hmm.
dump it. So I didn't really have that experience or even started eating pasta sauce from the jar until I got older and was kind of
Hmm.
like, all right, I want spaghetti, but I don't want to take all day to make it. So I'm just going to do this. And especially once I got my Instapot, I would
Hmm.
make that all the time because it was something that I could just kind of whip up really
Hmm.
quickly
Hmm.
and have something on the table within like 20, 30 minutes. Because even when I make homemade pasta, I'd make it like my mom or homemade spaghetti. Like I'm making the sauce from scratch, the whole big deal. So then it ends up becoming, a lot more of a experience, I guess, than just some type of low effort, high reward food. So I'm sorry that was
Are
your
you
experience.
making no? Are you making the pasta too?
Oh no, the pasta
Okay,
is always going to be, you know, store bought, already pre made or whatever.
except that
Um,
that one that you and your partner made.
yeah, yeah, that was just for the cooking class. I don't have the
Yeah.
tools or materials to make pasta like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that was my experience with spaghetti. But yeah, growing up, the thing that I think I don't eat now that I used to eat all the time were those mayonnaise and American cheese slice sandwiches. And I don't know where I got this from, but
I
I
don't
used to
either.
eat that a lot. Because when I'm not even going to say a lot, I would say enough that I remember, unwrapping the slices and putting the mayonnaise on there and just eating a slice of cheese sandwich. And it was good. I wouldn't think about doing that now because one, I
Mm-mm.
can't stand American cheese. Like I go to McDonald's, I'm always taking the cheese off because I don't
Hmm.
like American cheese like that. Like there's nothing wrong with it. I won't not eat it at all.
Hmm.
But because if they make a mistake and put cheese on it, I'll still eat. If I have to ask for it to be taken off, I'll still eat it. If I get home, I don't have no choice. It's not like a gross me out thing. It's just something that I just don't prefer to eat. Now,
Hmm.
cheddar cheese, a monster, something like that on the burger, yeah, I'm all for that. But if it's just going to be American, I'll go to a burger place and that's all they got. I'm like, nah, no cheese, I'm good.
Hmm.
And another thing that I used to eat, and I got this from watching TV, and it's not even it's a beverage actually, is milk that was warmed up. So once we got a
Hmm.
microwave, I would
That is
microwave the
so
milk.
old.
Yes, microwave the milk, add a little vanilla to it, a little sugar to it, just like eating or having like a melted ice cream or something like that. So that was really good.
I've
But
never heard. Yeah, I've never heard of that. Like, I've
yeah,
never thought about doing that. Like, because warm milk was such a old person's thing. Like, it was a thing that people would say, "Oh, I'm gonna
mm,
go drink a glass of warm milk and
mm,
my bowels are gonna move." Like shit like that. So
yeah,
I've
it wasn't
never.
for that.
Yeah. No. No.
It
No.
was
No. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was like I think they would serve that, or the person would on TV would drink it right before they went to bed. So I guess
Right.
it was helping them go to sleep.
Hmm.
No one was lactose intolerant in the 80s. I guess it wasn't a thing.
Clearly not. No. Not as much cereal and milkshakes as we ate.
Right, exactly. But yeah, that's something that not I probably would drink it. It just doesn't come to mind anymore. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Did you ever eat
those are some
spam?
things. No, no, I don't eat any type of potted meat.
Potted meat, right?
Mm-mm.
and
Vienna
and
sausages.
Vienna sausages, or as
Nope.
people used to
Mm-mm.
call them, Vienna weenies. But
Yeah.
yeah, those were two other things. Now I would eat again. Once again, my mother. thanks mom, would make spam at the house. And it was crazy because I could never understand why the texture of spam, that's the thing that got me with spam. It wasn't so much the taste, it was the texture of spam. It was too soft. And I was like, I don't want soft meat like that gross. So even I would try to fry it harder, but it would be, kind of crispy around the edges and the outside, but it would still be soft. And I was like, this is so gross. This is so nasty.
You want your meat hard.
I do. Okay. Right. Exactly. Okay. My meat normally is hard. So yeah, exactly. Do you have like a favorite? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, I never really got into like processed meat like that came in a can. So I think that was my issue, that it has some type of smell or taste to it, and that's why I never really kind of appreciate it. So it just kind of grosses me out. But I understand, it's a staple for some people. But what were you ask?
Do you have a favorite meal from back in the day besides the warm milkshakes that you used to
Right. When I was a kid, I guess one thing that I still like today would be, like we were talking about, was my mom's spaghetti, because it's always been made from scratch. And like in our family, that's one thing that it's pretty much her signature dish, or one of her signature dishes is making spaghetti. The meatballs, spicy, really flavorful. It's kind of a little greasy too. But the pasta sauce still sticks with the pasta when you eat it. It's just really good. You've got the vegetables. It's not too salty. And she makes it in a way that I've only been able to recreate once exactly. And that's been the one time in all of my times. And every time I make it now, it's just close, but no cigar. But yeah,
well, congratulations on that spaghetti.
Yeah.
Gross to me.
What about you? What's one of your foods from then?
So I eat like a toddler, and I'm not adventurous when it comes to food like that. Not like that. I may try something every now and again, but 9 times out of 10, I won't. But years ago, and I still do this periodically, years ago, I used to, like for lunch, my great grandmother was still living when I was younger. And so sometimes I would have hot dogs, and I love hot dogs. So for anybody out there, I love hot dogs. So hot dogs and mashed potatoes, or as my great grandmother and grandmother would call them, cream potatoes. I don't know what it is about the combination of a hot dog with, condiments, ketchup, and all that stuff on it, and mashed potatoes together, but it is so good to me. There are times where I will go to the store, and now I get, if I eat hot dogs at home, a lot of times Walmart has the little hot dogs, the $1.50 hot dogs that's over in the deli. So sometimes I'll grab like 1 or 2 of those, but if I'm eating them at home, I usually will get the Hebrew National ones and the 97% fat-free Hebrew National ones, because they're only like 45 calories, but they still give you a decent amount of protein. And then I get the Nature's Own soft white buns that are like 60 calories. So each hot dog ends up being like 100 and something calories. And then I'll go to Walmart and get the potatoes, the mashed potatoes off of the deli, and get like a container of those. And sometimes I'll just come home and that's all I want for dinner. It's just like hot dogs and mashed potatoes, and I am in heaven. Like I don't need much else. And I'm thinking about it now. I feel like that's what I want for dinner.
That's an interesting combination, because for me, I never would have put mashed potatoes or cream potatoes with hot dogs, but hot dogs and potato chips just go hand in hand. Or even hot dogs and fries, or hot dogs and tater tots. Just seems like that would work, but I never would think to put mashed potatoes and hot dogs together.
And sometimes I'll throw some cheese in it, in the mashed potatoes, and so that's an extra little treat, So I'll do all of those things. But it's usually, most of the time, it's just plain, plain potatoes, a hot dog with some ketchup and maybe some honey mustard on it or something like that. I don't have to have chili and slaw and all that stuff when I eat that meal. but that definitely always takes me back to childhood.
All right, cool. So, what's something that you would say is a big back food
Okay.
that you used to eat that you just don't think about eating now?
Big back, talking about used to, most
Used
of the
to.
big back foods I still eat. So,
Okay.
anything, again, knowing me, everybody, and listeners and viewers out there, I have a huge sweet tooth. Like, it's ridiculous. Now, I'm not the type of person that has a slice of cake for breakfast, a slice of cake for lunch, and then a slice of cake for dinner, and then cookies for a snack before bed. No, I don't do all of that. I'm not that OD with it. But I do like to have something sweet at least once a day or throughout the day. So big bag, I mean, there's some things I've made that would be considered very, very big bag. And I guess maybe I'll give one of those. I made this once or twice. Krispy Kreme bread pudding.
Oh, yeah, I remember when you did this.
Yeah. And so you have to go and buy a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts or something like that. You cut the Krispy Kreme donut, glazed Krispy Kreme donuts. Then you make that what is it?
Custard.
The custard, yeah, that liquid, yeah, the custard that you put on that's got sugar in it. And then you pour all of that over that. And then you make like a little caramel-esque kind of sauce or like brown sugar and butter and all, and you put that over the top of that, and then you bake all of that. Yeah, and then you make a glaze and pour that over the top. Yeah, that's big. That's for real big bag.
That is very big bag.
It is big bag. That is big bag, sugar diabetes, and D, all of the above. Yeah. So
sugar diabetes.
Diabetes. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple of things here, but one thing that I have not had in a very long time that I discovered, me and a former partner used to cook a lot together, and we had made these taco meat wontons. So basically it was, taco meat, cheese, put it in a little wonton wrapper, and then deep fried. Man, so good. Okay. So good, but just fat and grease everywhere. But I mean, when I tell you that was one of the best things ever.
Was it like grease running down your arm?
It wasn't necessarily grease running down your arm. It's just that because you've deep fried it, and like taco meat can already be oily. You got cheddar cheese in there, and then the oil comes out of the cheese as you cook it. It makes it greasy. Yes, it's so good. But one thing that I did do, and this isn't this is a meal. And I did this because when I was in undergrad and was like, oh, I'm making money. This and other, I can make my own little, perfect combination. A couple of times I've done this. I went to McDonald's, got my fries from McDonald's.
Oh, this is getting ready to be good.
Went to Rallies or Checkers, depending on which area of the country you're in. But for me, it was Rallies then. Got my burger from there because I like the Big Bufords.
Okay. And you could get 2 for $5 sometimes.
Yes. And then at the time, Popeyes had the onion rings nationwide. I would go to Popeyes and get onion rings. So I had fries, onion rings, and a burger from 3 different places. And made that like one of my meals, and didn't have a problem with it because like everything was like right down the street. So like I could on one strip. So the only thing that it was taking me was time. So I mean, that was a good meal. I didn't do that too many times because like, this is kind of ridiculous, but
I used to do that.
Yeah, that was something that I have done before, is go to 3 different places to build the meal the way that I wanted it.
Yeah, I've done that, especially like you said, when it was a special weekend or you got paid or you were just feeling good about yourself. Yeah, I would go to Hardee's or Carl's Jr., depending on what area of the country that you are. I would get the Frisco breakfast sandwich from Hardee's or Carl's Jr. I would go to Bojangles and get the 2 cinnamon biscuits from there. And then I would also get fries from seasoned fries from Bojangles. And that would be it. And I would be excited and the happiest little piece of shit in the world and fat.
Right. Well, we had bad habits.
Of course.
we ate bad food that was bad for us. I'll say that. Very
Absolutely.
poor choices. Very poor. So you mentioned earlier you were talking about your mom cooking the spaghetti, and I talked about my mom cooking the spaghetti and how we had two completely different experiences with our relationship with spaghetti. Was your mom the main cook in the house? Was she the chef? Okay.
No, not at all. And here's what's crazy about it, though. I never knew that she was not the chef until I left the house.
Okay.
When I was home and that was what you were used to, you were like, okay, yeah, this is good. This is good. This is good. You know, and you just ate because that was what it was. My stepfather was actually the cook because he actually was a cook at a restaurant. So he was actually the cook in the house. And so whenever he would cook, it would definitely be an experience or an event. But because he wouldn't cook that often, he worked 7 days. He worked 5 days. I'm sorry. But his 2 days off were Sunday and Monday. And so he would try to recoup from working, and he would work all day. He would have to be into work at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and he would work 12 hours, all day for years and years and years. So there are some Sundays he just didn't feel like, cooking. He would just want to rest. And so my mom would cook, but my mom was the main cook in the house. But yeah, I didn't realize that her food wasn't great until I left. And then I was like, yeah, no, this is not good. She could make this, but like, no, this wasn't good. This was just okay. And her thing was always, well, I'm going to do something quick. I'm going to do something quick. I'm going to do something quick. And I was like, no, like, can we not do something quick tonight? Can we like actually do something that takes a little bit of time? Now, on the flip side to that, my stepfather it would take him all goddamn day to cook. He would start cooking at 10 in the morning. And his process was, let me go ahead and write my list down. And so he would write the list, go to the store and grab all the stuff. He would start cooking at 10 o'clock, maybe 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. He would start prepping all that stuff. We wouldn't eat till 7 or 8.
Wow.
PM, everybody, PM. And I'm going, are you kidding me? Like, our stomachs and backs are touching. We are scavenging around the house trying to find a snack to eat on. I want to go get something else to eat, but you're like, well, the food's going to be ready in a minute. No, it's not. It's going to be ready in 2, 3, 4 hours. So, but you would eat, and then the food was great, but end up going right to sleep. So I don't know. And so was your mom the cook in your house?
Yes. Because, my parents had gotten divorced when I was really young. So she was the main chef.
Okay.
And so a lot of the things that I cook, are inspired by watching her in the kitchen and me wanting to eat that type of food or learn how to make that stuff myself. Just me always wanting to be independent. So much so that when my mom had hip surgery many moons ago, like maybe I guess 17 years now, it was right before Thanksgiving. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to probably have to make that Thanksgiving this year. So I'm thinking in my head, what I got to do and how I'm going to do this and all that. So I was pretty sure what the turkey was going to be like. It was everything else that was going to be the issue. So despite all of that, my mom had hip surgery like a week before. She ended up still making Thanksgiving dinner that year. She was determined. So if you know my mom, you would know that she's the type of person that there is no stopping what that woman wants to do. And I don't get in her way. So she said she wanted to cook. Great. I'll just be in the kitchen in case she needs help lifting something heavy or this, that, and the other. So that part was taken off of her because she was still healing. Now, mind you, my mom is very fit for her age. She's worked out and all that stuff. So she's very muscular for a person of her age and all of that. So and that helped with her recovery, thankfully. So it was no big deal. Like, of course, the doctor's going to say, you don't need to be doing this. You don't need to be doing that. But yeah, whatever. I know what I can do. So I let her have her way. And she made Thanksgiving dinner just like she normally did. And everybody was still like, I can't believe she did this. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. But again, those people that was there for Thanksgiving, because we had a lot of people that year, were checking in on her recovery. And then we had another family issue with a new family member coming into the family that same time. So we had a lot of people in town that year. So everyone was really like amazed that she was able to pull Thanksgiving off. Like, so yeah, she's definitely the chef. However, since I've gotten older, and I've been home, or when I was at home more and cooked, she would be like, hey, are you going to make this one? So this another, like, there's this garlic bread that she likes for me to make. If I say, oh, I made this dessert or something like that, when you gonna make some of that for me? So I'll get some of that every now and then. So she'll let me take the reins as she's gotten older on some things, because she don't. I know she likes to cook, but sometimes she's like, I don't want to do this all the time. So, and then, as a person gets older, they want to sit back and enjoy life too. So
my family does that too. Yeah, my family does that too with certain things. I don't cook. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, followed by Halloween. And so when I go home for Thanksgiving, I usually don't cook, but there are times where I get special requests. So my aunt will, she might ask me to make my garlic cheese cornbread, or I might, when my uncle was alive before he passed away, I used to make a pecan pie cheesecake.
Not pumpkin.
Yeah, not pumpkin. No, because black people don't eat pumpkin. Don't eat pumpkin, punkin. Pecan pie cheesecake. And so I remember my uncle telling me one time, he was like, you know what, you can make this every year if you want to. And bring it to the family meal. So there were a few years I made it, and then I haven't really made it since then. But yeah, I have a few little specific dishes that I make. Most of my dishes that I make are usually baked dishes. Yeah. So yeah, I bake pretty well. So mac and cheese, stuff like that, I do pretty well with.
Okay. So speaking of that, how do you think food shaped your sense of home or your identity?
That's a good question. I don't know that food itself, in and of itself, shaped home or identity. I think what food did was it acted as an equalizer and a point of gathering. Anytime that we were doing something that related to an event or just a get together, there was always food. So I think that functioned in the way of, hey, we're going to get together for this specific event, whether it be Thanksgiving or the 4th of July or someone's birthday or something like that. We are getting together. And so the food usually was the thing that it was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get there and get some of this person's this, or eat some of this or eat some of that. So it didn't necessarily shape my identity, but it is always a thing that I come back to whenever I'm feeling disconnected from family or disconnected from home, or feeling like, the weight of the world is kind of on you, and you just kind of go back and you say, okay, you know what? I need something to eat, or I need this right now. And this is going to kind of bring me back to a space of familiarity and comfort. Do you think it shaped you?
I think kind of, sort of, in the way that, as far as home goes, I ate a lot of home cooked meals growing up. If we went out to eat, it was always like a big deal. Even if it was just something as simple as like McDonald's, my mom cooked all the time, because that's just something that she grew up experiencing herself with her mom, my grandma, cooking all the time. So going out to eat in a restaurant was always like, ooh, we going to Bonanza, or we're going to Morrison's. Yeah, something like that. We didn't do Minigan.
The Sizzler.
My mom didn't really do that, or even Sizzler. But Morrison's was always a thing, because I associated that with going shopping, because that was something that we went to the mall to go get. So Morrison's is like cafeteria food.
I've experienced the Morrison's or two.
Yeah. For the people that don't know what a Morrison's is, because it's very regional. So like a Piccadilly or a Luby's or something like that, you pick your meat, pick your entree size or whatever.
Or Canes and Walkers or K&W for those of you that are in those areas.
Yeah. So something like that. And as far as like identity, I would say that, because I, again, as I mentioned before, wanted to be more independent. So learning how to cook and learn how to cook well and safely were definitely things that kind of formulate how I am now, because a lot of people like the food that I eat, or cook rather. Knowing that people would see something that I make or anticipate something that I would cook, lets me know that, hey, that's some good feedback. So yeah, I can't wait to see if Jeff's going to make a cake, or Jeff's going to bake cookies, or if Jeff is going to make
those cookies, that's exactly what I was going to say. Those cookies, are everything. Okay. And I love them.
Yes. Yeah. Everyone loves those cookies, the chocolate chip.
Everybody loves your cookies.
They like the cookies that I bake that come out of the oven with sugar and butter and chocolate.
All of that.
We're talking about those cookies.
Yep, definitely.
Something that I've had a little bit too much of. So we're going to move on to segment 2 because of that.
Right.
So, eat too many cookies, you put on some weight, and you end up having to want to lose weight. So we just talked about going to the gym and walking.
I was about to say
earlier.
have Lipo 360.
Right. Or something like that. Going to that one place, Goals, and getting the BBL. And
there you go.
Right.
And
the fat reappropriation.
Yeah, that's right.
Redistribution or whatever they do. So, we've both been on different fitness journeys. We've both lost weight. We've both gotten fit. I've gotten a little bit less fit and working on getting back into the fit thing. We've had different fitness journeys and different experiences. So there's the issue with just maintaining a healthy lifestyle and actually eating food that's good for us and not anything that's necessarily bad for us. But as social media has gotten a lot more important and been more of a key factor in our lives, especially as gay men, and the way you look is always like judged and things like that.
Super. Yeah, that is the great, again, equalizer is your aesthetics.
Yes, your aesthetics can be very important as a gay man. So contributing to that would be what you eat and what you don't eat, and how much you work out and all that. Are you looking or trying to lose weight to be more attractive? Are you trying to lose weight to fit in? You want to be social or more popular online? And there's all these different things that we can do to try to get a certain look or obtain a certain look. If we're counting our macros, like you mentioned before, you knew how much protein and how many calories were in the hot dogs and the bread. And, we can get a little obsessive with that. So we're going to get into that a little bit more. So as a person that I mentioned before has fallen off, I'll say that what contributed to me falling off of my fitness and getting out of shape has just been being tired with work and things like that, and just not taking the time to start, let me cook this food for myself instead of running out and getting something really quick. Because, there was a time when you'd ask me, what you doing? I'm at Popeyes. I'm going to Popeyes. I was at Popeyes a lot. So Popeyes contributed.
Especially when the big box was out. Yeah,
that $5 big box.
That $5 big box. Let's go get that. Yeah, that was his thing.
Right. And then the big box gained weight. The big box was $5. Then it was $5.55.
Then it was $6. I know. Yeah.
So that contributed to me falling off and just starting to get to a point where, I was just, I'm not going to the gym today. I haven't been to the gym in a week. I've been to the gym in a month. And those things just start kind of like sliding down. And then over time, gradually, you don't gain weight overnight, just like you don't lose weight overnight. And so you end up just kind of being like, you wake up one day and these pants don't fit the same way that they did. The shirt was kind of a little tighter here where it used to be. So moving on to that, what are some of your goals, health and fitness wise?
Ultimately, I used to think that I wanted to get down to a certain weight, but that isn't as realistic to me anymore because of the way my body is proportioned. So for me, there's an aesthetic look that I'd like to have, and not that I am like I have inspiration photos all over the place and I just keep looking at those things, but I see the people who are what I would consider body goals. I see them online like all the time. They're posting all the time. So I get a chance to constantly see that and I go, okay, this is kind of what I'm looking for. This is kind of what I'm looking for. So I just to I want to be able to look good with less clothes on.
Okay.
I think is the short answer to that. So like I want to be able to have a defined chest, you know, defined arms, a decently defined back. I don't mind having a stomach, but you know, have my legs, my thighs be, you know, muscular-esque, you know, or at least solid, you know. So just like stuff like that. And of course a specific weight kind of comes with that, but I'm working more so on toning and making those things a little bit more visible. So that's kind of my goal as of like right now, because I think I'm in the sizing that I kind of like. I could be a little bit smaller in my waist, but my shirts are about where I want to be. Maybe, you know, it fluctuates between a couple of sizes. So yeah, I could do that. But do you have any goals for yourself?
I don't necessarily have aesthetic goals, you know, because I've mentioned before on this podcast, I've been fit and, you know, not necessarily had abs or anything, but my stomach was decently flat. My arms and chest were decently sized for the size and the weight that I was before. So I don't really care about aesthetics that much. I'm more so concerned now at this stage of life as getting my health and wanting to do certain things. So getting my health right and having the ability to do certain things. You know, we've done races together, the obstacle and mud races before. So I kind of think I want to get back into doing that. And so, of course, being smaller, being stronger helps with doing those types of activities. So part of the reason why I went walking earlier today is to train myself into doing a 10K next year. So working
running
towards
it
that
or
goal,
just walking it or
just
either one.
making it to the end goal,
Okay.
to the finish line.
Getting across the
We're
finish
not
line.
really
Got
worried
it.
about running the 10K
How
the
we
whole
gonna get it?
time or even jogging it. We just want to get to the whole 10K.
And I remember when we used to do those obstacle races, the thing that was the difference between me and you is I have stamina. Like I could go. I didn't have any issue with getting through or getting to the end of the race, but I just wasn't as strong as you were. And so like some of the obstacles that required strength, like I still don't know how to do monkey bars. I still can't do monkey bars. Like I can lift some weights, but I cannot do the monkey bars. And I remember there was one obstacle on one of the races that we had to do monkey bars, and you were just like pow pow pow, you know, you went across. I got on the first rung and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and drop in this water and then I'm gonna go on through and we'll go from there. But yeah, but then we were, you know, we'd go up a hill and, you know, I'm doing the running man backwards up the hill, or, you know, I'm somewhere dancing up the hill and, you know, doing the Dougie and everything else. And you just like, okay, can we just stop for a second? Hold on. We gotta stop for a minute. So that was the one thing that I liked about when we raced. Like it wasn't like I was outdoing you every turn of that, you were outdoing me every turn, but like there were points where we had a chance to kind of push each other. So if I was in Atlanta, I definitely would be like, hey, I'm gonna do these with you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for me, those were awesome, fun times. I never looked
They
at
were.
it like any type of competition or anything between the two of us. It was
No,
just kind of
no,
like we're
it never
doing
was that.
this
Yeah.
as friends together, and we just kind of both had different strengths and weaknesses when it comes to those types of things, like climbing over the walls and underneath and the mud and going over the little, hills and rolling down this, that, and
And
other. I
jumping
didn't
over
have any.
fire. Yeah.
Yeah, jumping over fire and all of that, sliding down, climbing up the thing and slide down a water slide or whatever,
Oh
or mud
God.
slide.
Yeah.
All that stuff was awesome to me. I like being on an extreme playground. So yeah, getting my endurance and fitness level back up to that where I can do that, and it's I can feel decent and good about it. It's pretty much my main goal. Anything aesthetically that comes with that is just gravy. That's just extra, some logging out.
So you
Just
don't.
some.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just something extra that kind of gives me that's going to just come with getting healthy. Now, yeah, I do want to look a little bit better in clothes and, find it a little bit easier to, just buy stuff off the rack and whatnot. Yes, those are great things. But yeah, I'm more focused on just having a lot more health and ability focused as far as my goals when it comes to working out and what I choose to eat.
How do you feel social media has affected all of our perceptions of looks and body and how we and the relationships that we have with food?
Well, I feel like there's a lot more pressure to just look good because aesthetically good. So when I say that, I mean the conventionally attractiveness of having a flat or small stomach, having a big chest, having a big arm, having broad shoulders, all of that, thighs that fill out the pants and this, that, and the other. All of that being attractive gives you more follows and more followers, and you get engagement. And so there's a monetary benefit to being more attractive because you can use that in a way that if it's not getting paid to write something on Twitter, you may get some type of, hey, would you promote this product and we'll give you a discount if you have people, use your link, and if they buy stuff through your link, you get to promote things. And so there's a lot more incentive to look a certain way now than there ever has been. And I think, again, with social media and becoming popular, then, oh, that person looks good. So to me, this is not my experience, but I imagine if you're attractive in that way and you've got all these followers, then you probably got DMs out the wazoo, just getting blown up all the time. So you think, oh, well, I'm about to go to New Orleans to this red dress run and let everybody know on Twitter in New Orleans on August 1st through August 5th. And now I'm gonna get all these DMs from these people that's in that area. I may be able to meet and have some sex with these folks or get a free dinner or something out of this, because now that I've been able to wield my attractiveness into some type of social capital.
Yeah, the advantages of pretty privilege. Yeah.
Yes. And
Did you ever go ahead?
Yeah, so that kind of leads into what people are willing to do as gay men to look a certain way. If that's, oh, I'm going to count every calorie that I eat. Oh, I'm going to make sure that I do this workout. Let me do these 2-a-days because I'm going to do this cardio in the evening and then I'm going to lift weights at night, or vice versa. I got to do this 1 meal a day eating plan, or do this intermittent fasting because that's going to get me to get to the look that I want to look. And that'll give me the goal of getting that popularity and being able to use that and be able to capitalize on my looks in a way that people have never been able to do. Because now you can look good internationally all across the globe, whereas before you may have just been a cute person in your pre-internet, just a cute person around your neighborhood or your town. But now you can have even a person in a very small town, in a very small city, a flyover state, can have hundreds of thousands of followers because they're willing to put their body out there for people to consume.
Do you think that there are so many people who have fit pages, and a lot of them pop up on my timeline. You know, it's so and so fit, this person fit. You know, it would be Jeff Beasy fit or DMC fit. You know, whatever. And people who have these fit pages and they show off their workouts and all this stuff. Do you? Let me go back. Let me backtrack. They have these fit pages they show off, and then they sometimes when you ask, or you might have a conversation about why they post so much fitness and stuff like that, and they say that, oh, I'm doing it for me, I'm doing it, you know, because I like the way that I look. Do you think that that is true, that they're doing it solely for their own gain and or growth?
I would have a difficult time believing that a lot of that would be the main reason. Because like I said, there's the incentive to post these photos because you can now get some type of financial gain. And there two things can be true at once. So yes, it could be, yes, I want to motivate other people. I feel like, you know, I've worked hard. I want to, you know, show this off. This is for me. But I feel like there is getting that validation and feedback from a like can be addicting. And I don't think people, like, I know folks that post stuff just because it's whatever. But I've seen people say that, oh, well, when I post a photo of me at Disneyland with Mickey Mouse, you know, I get 20 likes. But if I post a photo of me with my chest out, or, you
changing in the locker room,
or right where my pubes start, I'm going to get, you know, 150 likes. And so that difference in getting those notifications from something that's going to be more innocent and something that's going to be a little bit on the extreme, you know, can kind of give that person that motivation. The validation that they could be looking for. So I can't say if a person is doing it just for themselves, because there's always going to be that in the background for me that, oh, they're just doing this because they know they're going to get a whole bunch of likes and get some followers out of this.
Do you think people would ever admit that?
What's that?
Do you think that people would ever admit that? Yeah, I'm doing this. Sure, I'm doing this because I like the way I look, but I'm doing this really because I like the validation.
I think that people aren't that quick to admit that that's the real reason. Because as soon as you start criticizing them, then it becomes, oh, you just a hater. You just don't like them because they
you don't look like that.
You don't look like that.
Their body is T, quote T.
Right. Yeah. So you kind of end up there's no way to get a real answer to that, in my opinion. Because it's just like the people that, oh, hey, let me show you my little chickens and my birds that I got, while they sit on the couch with their legs wide open, where you can clearly see the bulls in their pants. It's not about the birds. It's about the bulls. But if you start pointing that out, then, oh, well, you just a hater, this, that, and other. No, you're let me clean my house, but I got my underwear on and it's pulled up in my crack so you can see my ass. But this is really about me cleaning my
breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So
right.
You should always eat breakfast, but yeah, you're in just a pair of drawers and some socks.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that?
I agree with a lot of what you said. I think that there are people who do a lot of what they do on social media, whether it be fitness or not. They do a lot of what they do for clicks, views, and likes, and that validation. And for me, I mean, I'm there to watch and click and view and like as well as everybody else is. But sometimes I do wonder, you know, like if somebody asked you, okay, hey, you post a lot of this online, or you post a lot of these sorts of things online, why do you actually do that? And, you know, in my age now, or at my age now, I really am more concerned with people who are authentic to why they do what they do, why they say what they say, why they move in the ways in which they move. And I'm just about standing in what that is. And for me, there's just a lot of people, because there are people that I have hit up. Some of those people that I have hit up, I have, an ex or some people that I have talked to who really kind of do some of those same things. They post online and they're in the gym, or one of my exes has a really nice body, thick body, but he's always in like really small tank tops, and then his shorts look like underwear.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, okay, well, yes, this is nice looking, but it's nice looking for me because you and I dated and I know you, and all of those things, and I always like that. So yeah, I'm gonna just come in and like it. But yeah, then I go sometimes and look at the comments, and it's people propositioning and stuff like that, and I'm just like, you have a lot going for you. You don't necessarily need to post this, but why do you feel the need to do that? And so that's always my question when it comes to people who do that.
I'm posting it because I want to post it. What you talking about?
Yeah. This is for me. I'm doing this for me, and if you don't like it, you can unfollow. And I hate that too, that, would just unfollow me. And I'm like, well, that's not going to stop you from posting it. If I unfollow you, you're still going to be posting your own stuff. And it's not that I hate that you post stuff. Listen, do you, boo, whatever. That's not an issue for me at all. But sometimes I do wonder, like, okay, are you all really doing this just for you, as you say, or are you doing it for whatever? And if you are, that's cool. I'm not hating on that. I'm enjoying it. You like it, I love it, kind of thing. But it does feel like you said, that it's about, let me get this validation. There's something that is devoid in my life. And so, I'm using this as a way to kind of cope through some of whatever it is for whatever reason, but again, no judgment, no heat from my side here. But
yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, I feel like we all like to get validation. And like I mentioned, getting those likes and seeing those notifications come in.
I mean, it's part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the need to be wanted or needed, Yeah. So
yeah, we all want to feel those things. And I think that, just because a person is considered attractive, that doesn't mean that they don't want those things too. So, there is that. But, as I mentioned before, when we see people and they're getting these types of likes and they're getting that attention in the DMs, or even not even the DMs, just the public posting on the post saying that, oh, you so hot, blah, 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 blah. I would do this and I do that to you. As a person that could be very impressionable, seeing those things, and they want that type of attention and validation as well, then they kind of go into those things where, okay, well, what do I need to do in order to look like this? What type of bodybuilding plan do I need to be on? What type of meal prep do I need to do? What type of protein do I need to eat? And then we get into the fasting and the calorie counting, and
the minutia,
the really deep details. So you're calorie counting, and because you're working with a nutritionist, and you've been doing that for a while now. And so that's been successful for you. And so I kind of had a similar experience as well, because I used to do the whole macro thing where, this is my weight, and, this is how much protein I need to eat. This is how many carbs I need to eat. This is how much fat I need to eat. And you can be very successful in doing those things. And I also did intermittent fasting, where I would only eat between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. And, after that, 8 o'clock, I don't eat anything. But when I woke up in the morning, I'd have like a cup of coffee and water, and that would be it, from the time that I woke up, just drinking water until 12. And then once 12 hit, it was like, all right, it's 11:59.
Let's go. Let's get it.
I'm about to tear this chicken.
I'm about to tear this Popeye's big box up. Okay.
Other than like calorie counting, what has been your experience with meal prep? And have you ever done like any fasting or the one meal a day or anything like? Are you aware of what one meal a day is like?
Yeah, I've done pretty much all of those things. The calorie counting more so for me is the macros, like you were talking about. So
Mm-hmm.
I do. My nutritionist had me on, counting macros, and so we had goals, and I would try to reach that every day. It it was up and down for me because there were days where I felt okay with reaching my goals and stuff like that. But then there were days because I've had surgery, weight loss surgery, and I've talked about that too. There are days I just didn't feel like eating, and I was forcing myself to eat or drink, protein and do stuff to try to get my reach my goals for the day. And sometimes it became cumbersome. I would still do it, but it just became cumbersome trying to deal with that every single day and looking at my totals and going, okay, did I reach my goal for the day? Did I reach my goal for the day? Did I reach my goal? And
Mm-hmm.
there are days where it felt okay. Like it felt like, okay, this is my game for the day. I gotta get through this. But then there were days I was like, I'm tired of eating. I don't want to, it's 8 o'clock and I
Mm-hmm.
still have 24 grams of protein that I still need to get
Yes.
today. Okay. So what the fuck am I going to eat or drink? Okay. Let me go make
Mm-hmm.
another protein shake, even though I don't want it, kind of thing. Intermittent fasting, I tried when I lived in Florida. I probably tried it for maybe like 2 months. And
Okay.
so it was the same thing that you had where it was like, okay, maybe between 12 and 8 was when I ate. So I was fine with that because there are days where I don't necessarily have to eat breakfast. I'm fine not eating
Yeah.
breakfast. And so I would eat at 12, but the issue was between 12 and 8, I was eating whatever the hell I wanted to because I was like, all right, let's get it in through 12 to 8 and we just gonna eat whatever we need to eat. Let's get it. Let's go to the Kentucky Fried Chicken and we're gonna get, I tried my best to do a little bit better with my choices when I went out. But I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and have this and I'm gonna have this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and have a little donut real quick right here, and then I'm gonna eat this and I'm gonna eat that, but then I'm not gonna eat anything else, after this point.
Yeah.
So sometimes I would try to stop early, but that was short-lived because I remember somebody telling me, oh yeah, you're intermittent fasting, but you're not paying attention to what you're eating during the part
Yes.
that that you're not fasting. So I was like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You
Meal
have
prep.
to.
Oh, so go ahead.
No, I was just gonna
Mm-hmm.
say, like, my experience with that was that I was doing the macro counting,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and doing the intermittent fasting at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was working because I was putting in both things at once.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like they say, oh, you can eat whatever you want during that time, but yeah,
You
but
can't have a
no,
piece of cake for lunch, a piece of cake as a
right?
snack, and a piece of cake for dinner, and then go
Because once you go over
ta-da.
your calorie
Mm-hmm.
count and you're not in a caloric deficit,
Deficit, right? Mm-hmm.
yeah, if you're not in deficit but you're still eating, whatever the fuck in the
Mm-hmm.
8 hour span, it really doesn't matter though. The point is to put yourself in deficit,
Mm-hmm.
and in order to lose the weight. So if you
Yeah.
combine that with the macro counting, and paying attention to that and writing down and doing a food diary or using an app to,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
track or estimate, about what you're taking in, then it works a lot better. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you can't just do intermittent fasting and still be like, let me go down to this Popeyes and the Carl's Jr.
Mm-hmm.
That
Carl's
ain't gonna
Jr.
work.
Yeah, and the Bojangles. Yeah, meal prep. I still kind of do meal prep, but I do meal prep in terms of I purchase meals, and so there are times where I cook though. I will cook. I'll go get some chicken and I'll cut up chicken. I'll weigh it out and everything, and I put it in my little glass containers in the fridge, and then I just grab it and go. But a lot of what I do as far as meal prep is I go to a spot called Clean Eats Kitchen. So that is Clean Eats with a Z, CLEANEATZ kitchen.com. So Clean Eats, if you would like to sponsor Just Drawz, please reach out to the Just Drawz podcast at gmail.com. But Clean Eats is actually really good. They're really affordable. So a lot of these meal, delivery services are a little bit more pricey, but Clean Eats is really good, and they have a lot of variety in what they have, and they have like high protein meals. They have, basic meals, stuff like that. So it's really good. And these are like, pop them in the microwave,
Mm-hmm.
3 minutes, you're good to go. So sometimes when I've had a long day, I'm just like, okay, what am I going to eat for dinner? You know what? I'm going to have a meal. So let me just grab one of these out of the freezer, pop it in, throw just a little bit of salt, more salt and pepper on it, and I'm good to go. So I've done that. The one meal a day thing, I did that before, but it wasn't because it was a weight loss thing. It was more so a thing of I didn't have time in the day. I would have to be at work between 7:30 and 8 in the morning. And so I would get up and I wouldn't want to eat breakfast. So I would get up, go to work, and I would work all day. And around lunchtime, I was hungry, but I was like, okay, I've got this to do, and this to do. So I said, you know what? I'll just wait. I'm going to go home probably at about 3:30 today. So I'm just going to work through lunch, get this stuff done, knock it out, and then I'll go home. And then when I go home, I'll just grab something on the way home. And my one meal a lot of times would be cookout. So regionally, cookout is a thing. Some of you may know if you live in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, the top of Florida, Kentucky, I think maybe Tennessee a little bit, and maybe the lower part of Virginia, there are cookouts. And I would go to cookout and I would wreck fucking shop. I mean, a burger tray and then a drink and then a foot-long hot dog and then a bacon wrap, bacon BLT without the tomato, and then an extra side. Like I would eat and then would smash all of that and then be like, all right, one meal done, but that one meal was probably 4,000 calories, that one day. But yeah, so that was just because of that. But no, I hadn't tried it on some real like health and wellness tip.
Yeah.
So yeah,
as a way to like lose weight or something.
No, that was just me. Like I gotta eat, and I want to eat everything that's on the left side of this menu.
Yeah, and I've never done one meal a day myself, and it basically, it is what it sounds like. You eat one meal a day, and you don't eat anything else. And again, it's another way of putting yourself in a calorie deficit. I've tried meal prep, and it doesn't work for me in the way that I don't like eating the same thing over and over again. And I understand that, part of the point of meal prep is already having your macro calculated meal ready to go, and you can just pop it in the microwave. This and the other. You spend all day Sunday or Saturday packaging everything up and microwave it, this and the other, and you eat it, and you don't have to think about how many calories it is because it's already been done for you. I think the idea is great. I just cannot do that, and I don't have the freezer space or the design or the desire to sit up and cook different meals in order for it to work for me in the way that it would need to, which would be, okay, I'm going to have steak and I'm going to make a steak meal. That's going to be my main protein. And I'm going to have a fish meal. And I'm going to have a chicken meal. Then I'm going to do a different type of chicken and a different type of beef meal. I think the idea works. It just does not work for me because of the way that my palate is. I could make a bunch of meals and then freeze them and then don't have to think about it. That would work for me. But I would have to really put a lot of more thought into it. But yeah, I've tried it before. It just doesn't work for me in the way that I think that I've seen it work for other people because I have to have that variety.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And, I'm more of the type of person that I'll know what is a go-to meal for me that's healthy that I would like. So like, because I like fish, and fish doesn't take long to cook, I would just cook that live, or when I need to eat it or when I was ready to eat. So, so I just take let me just make some rice, throw a little spinach in the skillet on the side and do this salmon. And in 10, 15 minutes, I got a meal on the plate. And I'd rather just do that and cook it every day instead of trying to make something in advance because I know I'll get tired of it. So I would always have like a chicken breast ready to go or a steak or even making a burger because I could calculate that the calories and macros in order to make that fit where it would work. So maybe I don't fry my fries, I can air fry them or bake them in the oven. And, they still kind of give me that fry crispiness that I want, but not give me the extra calories from the deep frying. So, a burger can be healthy and still fit your macros. You just have to, a lot of the reason why the burger is so high in calories is because of the mayonnaise. So if you can kind of find a way to find a condiment that you can work with, or if you don't need that extra moisture, don't use as much mayo, because a lot of times when you order something from fast food, you tell them to put mayo on it and they act like, hey, mayo is free. Like half a damn cup of mayo on there.
There's sometimes where it's nothing. It's still dry. I'm like, okay, like I said, mayo on this, but I've seen people get extra mayo too, and it's running down their their arm, and I'm just like, wow.
No, I can't do it. I tell them light mayo all the time. So, but that's just me. But yeah, that's something healthy that I think works for me. So you mentioned that you had the what was the meal company again that we're going to get the free promo?
Clean Eats Kitchen. CLEANEATZKITCHEN. Clean Eats Kitchen.
Yeah. So Clean Eats, that could work for someone else, because I used to work for a meal delivery company. And so I think that works as well too, because again, it's something that you don't have to think about. You can just order something and it comes and you already know how many calories it's going to be, how much protein is in it, how much fat is in it. And you don't really have to think about it. And that convenience, as I mentioned before, earlier in the podcast, where, you're going to Popeyes, where I was going to Popeyes to get those $5 big boxes when I could have been ordering from Clean Eats or something like that.
That's right.
And, spending probably a little bit more money than $5, but it would have been healthier for me.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the next section, which is social eating. As I mentioned earlier, we're going into the holidays soon. And so we're going to be around that family group.
That's right.
And, socializing with family, or going out to eat on a date or different things like that, or even just spending time with your friends, you can end up in a situation where, hey, baby, I done made this cake. And I know you on this diet, but I just want you to just try a little bit. One bite won't hurt you, baby. And you end up falling down and falling off the wagon and getting off your goals over one piece of pie or a piece of cake.
No, it'll be the whole thing, or half of a cake, or half of a pie. Like that, the one piece is not going to kill you, but it's just after you've had that one piece.
Exactly, one piece ends up into
those eyes light up.
Next thing you know, you trying everything, and you just kind of fall into that whole little.
Well, what else you got?
The pressure of it, exactly. So, have you run into situations like that when you've been around your family, and they know that you're on a fitness journey, or you're trying to work on, getting your fitness or your health in shape, but they're like, hey, can you just try one little bite? Have you been into that situation before?
All the time.
How do you handle that?
All the time. So having had the weight loss surgery, the thing that's always fun for me, and it may not be fun for other people who have had the surgery, but it's always fun for me. My family picks on me because I can't eat that much. So I'll go somewhere, and Jeff, you've been out with me, and that sometimes I'll get a kid's meal when we go out somewhere, and you can always tell when I'm full. Like I will literally stop, like you're tuned in to my stomach as well as I am, and I will stop eating, and I'm sitting there, and like you're sitting across from me, and you're like, "You full?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." And so, but my family will kind of clown me about it. They'll be like, well, we can't take you out, or, if we take you out, you're going to get a kid's meal and then ask for a box for that. But I do have an aunt that whenever she cooks, or if I go to her house, she usually always has something sweet at her house. She's a baker. So maybe that's where I kind of get some of that baking from. I have a couple of aunts that are phenomenal cooks. And so that's where I kind of build a lot of my culinary prowess from, I guess you could say. But I have an aunt that anytime I go to her house, and she's from the country, quote country. She doesn't live in Charlotte, but she'll usually always have something sweet. So whether that's a strawberry pie in the summer, or she's made I don't know if you ever heard of socket to me cake, like that, or she's made a hummingbird cake, or she's made a pound cake, just something. There's always something in the house. And so sometimes I'll go over to see her if I'm going home, or when she used to live next door to my dad, my biological father. I would go over to her house and she's like, well, I got some so-and-so in there in the kitchen. That's all she needed to say. It wasn't like, well, baby, I made this. Come and taste this and see how it knows. It's just like, hey, it's some pound cake in there. Like, that's it. And so, to get up and walk right in that kitchen and cut a chunk, or depending on if you just ate a slice, a demure, mindful slice, but yeah, always that. But sometimes, especially being on the journey or not just eating because it's there kind of thing. There are times where I would say, okay, well, you know what? I'll get it before I leave, or I'll get a piece before I leave, and I'll wrap it up, and take it with me. So then you're showing the love of, hey, I appreciate you and I appreciate what you did, but you're not doing it. You're not falling into the trap right then. So then you can kind of still stay with whatever you're doing and then go, okay, I'm going to eat this a little bit later. So.
Yeah,
that's how do you handle that?
Because that's basically the same thing that I would do. I would, be like, let me wrap up this piece and just take it home and eat it later. Yeah. Or, like you said, just get you a little sliver of cake. Be like, oh, yeah, this is good. And, at least you're showing that you appreciate it. Because I don't think people intentionally try to take you off the wagon. It's just that they want to share, hey, I've made this with love. I want you to
food equals
experience
love.
This food, experience what I put into it. And that's all that it is from their point of view. They're not trying to, take you off your goal or whatever. You just kind of have to be the one that controls how you react to this temptation once it's put into your face.
And for a cook, food is their version of validation, just like social media is for the people that we just talked about, who have the fit pages and they're constantly showing off, their bodies and gains and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's the same thing, the same level of endorphins and the same levels of wow, like this I'm showing love and people are appreciating the love that I'm showing. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's that validation and feedback, but it's live and in person.
Oh yeah,
when you see that person eat that food and it melts in their mouth,
and they smile,
or they smile and they be like,
or don't say a goddamn thing. Then you're like, yep.
Everybody just quiet.
Shut them up. Shut them up. Shut them up.
If everybody's quiet at the dinner table, that means that you did what needed to be done. If everybody's yip yapping and jaw jacking,
you gave what needed to have been gave.
But it's definitely, if everybody's quiet and eating, you did a good job.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, but that's how I would handle that too. I just would have to take a little bit now. Say, I'm gonna take some of this home, and I'll eat it later. Like it won't be like I'll eat the whole hunk, but as a person that's trying to have some goals that fit with fitness, health, and aesthetics, you don't want to just derail the whole thing. And I think it would be rude to just be like, I don't want any, blah, blah, blah. Unless it's something like, hey, you made this with nuts. I'm allergic to nuts. I can't eat this. Then that's something totally different.
But those people in your life already know what your allergies are and what you don't eat. So they're not going to make that. They're not going to offer it to you if they know if it's got nuts in it and you're allergic to nuts, they're not going to offer that to you, but they're going to make something that doesn't have nuts in it just in case, so-and-so's coming home for Thanksgiving or coming home for the holiday or coming home for 4th of July or whatever. So I'm going to make this, but I know they don't eat nuts. So let me not do that.
Yeah. So is there something that your family eats or makes that people that aren't in your family would probably be like, what is that? Who eats that? You have anything like that?
No, I can't say that. I think that my family is pretty regular when it comes to, if we're talking about black foods, let's say it like that. If we're
Okay.
talking about black like this and not like this, yeah. But we're talking about that, then yeah, they pretty much they run the gamut of whatever it is. So it doesn't even matter. There's nothing that I don't think there's anything. My dad eats moon pies,
Okay.
but like, and he's the only one that eats those, so maybe that would be the only thing, but that's not even something that's made, in the home. It's something that he goes out and buys. But other than that, yeah, not that I know of. Everything else is cool. There's stuff that I don't eat that people side eye me on and go, well, why don't you eat that?
Mm-hmm.
But
I know a lot of people don't eat, like, there's this expectation that black people love to eat shrimp and seafood, and you're not a person that really kind of gets into that.
I do not eat
Yeah.
seafood at all. Yeah, and my family side eyes me every time. And it's crazy because I've not eaten seafood all of my life. And they'll go, oh, we're going to have some fish for dinner. And I'm like, why are you telling me that? And I don't eat seafood. You don't eat seafood? I am 40 plus years old, and you should know by now that I do not eat seafood. So yeah, but they eat it all. So
Yeah. Yeah. I really don't feel like we have that going on that I eat. My mom knows how to cook chitlins. I will never eat a chitlin.
Yeah, I don't eat them either.
My family, we have people in my family that know how to make hog head cheese. I used to eat it. I would not think about eating it now. But out of the things that I would say, and again, I'm from the South, so that's something that people just eat the South, as they call it, or hog head cheese. But I mentioned this on another episode of the show, the mincemeat cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, where, it's made from mincemeat, and that's a product that actually does have meat in it, a small amount, but it's filled with these fall spices of clove and cinnamon, just like warm spices. And it's mixed into this cookie batter, and you bake it, and it's pretty good. But it gives you that fall taste. But if you're not a person that's grew up eating that, or probably don't live in England or the UK where mincemeat is more common, you probably be like, huh, what's that? Type of thing. So I think that would probably be the main thing that my family eats all the time, that I eat too. That someone would be like, now what's this? What you got to explain this to me, because I don't know nothing about this.
Yeah, what that is. Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
That would be my thing.
Let me ask you this. So I'm going to throw out a couple of foods here that would be considered, I guess, kind of black foods or foods that we associate with being social. And so you tell me if they're overrated or underrated.
Okay.
All right. You ready? All right. Mac and cheese.
I think mac and cheese is overrated in the fact that I love it, but I don't think mac and cheese needs to have 16 different cheeses.
Okay.
I feel when you put in, shrimp and beef and chicken in it, it's no longer mac and cheese. It's a casserole. Call it a casserole. Once we get to 30% protein, it's a casserole.
It's a casserole.
It's no longer mac and cheese. But I love it, but I do feel like it's overrated because people be doing way too much. It's a very simple dish. It doesn't require 15 cheeses. Just because you put 15 cheeses in it doesn't mean that
make it any better.
Does not make it any better.
It's just going to bind you up even more.
Yeah, it really, and to me, it could be that you've used 15 cheeses if you don't go overboard on the total amount of cheese in it. The
amount of cheese, yeah.
Yes, it can be okay. But just putting more cheese in it does not make it better, you know?
Yeah.
So
I would agree. Yeah. I would agree mac and cheese can be very overrated, and especially because everybody has their own recipe, and everybody's recipe is the quote best recipe for mac and cheese. It's like, okay, yeah. And then you have all the debates of eggs don't go in mac and cheese, and then some people put 16 eggs in mac and cheese, and so it's all over the place. So yeah. All right. Overrated or underrated? Vegan soul food.
I think vegan food in general is overrated because I feel like if you
ain't
have
no damn
to,
vegan.
It's not even so much that, because I like vegan food. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great. It's good that people are, making vegetables the main star. But once we get to the point where we're taking, flour and washing it and turning it into a meat-like thing. And I think it's called seitan, and I know people eat seitan all the time. Once we get to the point where we are taking that product and sticking wood sticks into it and seasoning it like chicken and deep frying it, we're doing a little bit too much at that point. I like vegan food. We've gone to vegan places to eat before. No problem with it, but I do think that we need to not try to make one-to-one matches to the meat stuff and to vegan food. Now, I get that some people need that transition to actually make the jump from being a meat eater into vegan and vegetarian. So it makes sense to me. But I'm probably not going to run and rush to your vegan restaurant, vegan soul restaurant, especially when the prices for your vegetables and flour,
because all of the stuff that they have to do to make them taste like something that is not vegan.
I'd rather just go ahead and eat the meat. I'm not about to spend $40 on a plate at a vegan restaurant when I'm gonna feel like I could have just gone and got the real meat. I'm sorry, I'm just not gonna do that.
Yeah, I agree. It can be overrated when it's taken to that space. I think it's underrated in the sense that more people are not jumping on that quote bandwagon of trying to be a little bit healthier. Soul food, I mean, you could be at a soul food spot and still have vegan stuff on the menu, and people, if you mix it in with certain things, they would never know. All right, so overrated, underrated, hot honey.
I don't have enough experience with hot honey to really form an opinion on it. Like, I see it a lot, but I'm gonna go, it's overrated just because it hasn't really been something that I felt like I've needed to experience myself.
Okay, me too. I'm not a big heat or spice type of person as far as it relates to heat. Now, spices I like, but heat I don't particularly care for. So if I have something with hot honey in it, I'd rather have it on the side so that I can control how much hot and or honey I put on it. So yeah, overrated, underrated, chitlins.
I don't even eat them. So that's
okay. They are overrated to me too. Yes, because I don't eat those as well. My family does. My family is like, we're going to go to so-and-so's house and get chitlins, and they eat them, put them in a bowl, eat it, throw some hot sauce on them, eat them, go get another bowl. And I'm like, have fun. So last but not least, overrated or underrated. And I know exactly where this is for me, but brunch.
Okay. I'm going to say brunch is just right. It's not overrated. It's not underrated. Because I feel like I like the merging of breakfast food and non-breakfast food together. And I think it can work very well. There's sometimes I've gone to brunch or had brunch with people and I've ordered just breakfast stuff. I've had just lunch stuff. I've had the combo. So I do feel like it's in a good space because everybody gets to eat something that they like during that period. But I think the social aspect of brunch is overrated. I feel like people do it just to look cute and wear their little brunch boots.
Their brunch boots. That's right.
Brunch outfit and all of that
Which
stuff.
are actually called Chelsea boots, everybody. They're called Chelsea boots. Yeah. But
they're Chelsea boots. But yeah,
affectionately nicknamed them brunch boots. Okay.
Yes. They have their little brunch outfits and things like that. I feel like the social aspect of it is overrated because I also don't like a loud brunch. So if you have a brunch restaurant, you do not have to blast your music so that it's a club because I want to socialize of my brunch with other people. So I also want to have a conversation and not yell across the table. So
and I don't want to watch people twerking over their pancakes.
Yeah, I don't want that either. I want a brunch where we can have a conversation and talk. And we can have the music playing in the background, and it doesn't have to be loud for me to still know what the artist is, like the song, this and the other, and appreciate it. You don't have to have a DJ at brunch because that tends to be if the DJ is there, that means you got a loud brunch. and I will not go to a restaurant again or won't go at brunch time if it's allowed brunch. Yeah, there needs to be something on Google where you can indicate and say, hey, this brunch is loud.
Yeah, right. Or have a noise level button, or have a noise level emoji that's like, this is what it is. Yeah, brunch is definitely overrated, over fucking rated for me, because brunch is not even normally during what people would consider brunch times. We are not going to brunch at 3:00 in the afternoon. That is not brunch. That is whatever the difference between lunch and dinner is, or it's late lunch or it's early dinner. It is not brunch. And brunch to me is between 10:30 and about 1. That's it. So that's when we need to be going to brunch. But like you said, it turns into so much, and it's like, oh, we brunch all day. That makes no sense to me, because brunch is supposed to be a specific time of the day. So there's no need for you party all day. Say that, but you're not brunching all day, because you're not sitting somewhere eating all day, all 7 hours that you're, quote, at brunch. Right. And there are people I've gotten off the phone with, and they're like, oh, yeah, I just got back from brunch. It is 8:15 p.m. And you talking about I just got back from brunch? No, sir. No, ma'am. No, we didn't. So definitely overrated.
Yeah, that is too late to be talking about some, brunch. Because I feel, again, you need to be sat for brunch. Okay. No later than 1:30. Yeah. So that brunch can end at 2:30. Like the restaurant may close at 2:30. But yeah, we don't need to be eating brunch at 3 o'clock.
Right. At 8:15, and at 8:15, I need to be at the house warming up some milk with a little bit of sugar and vanilla.
Right. All right. So one more thing. Let's rank some of the classic Black folks desserts. Ooh, so out of sweet potato pie, banana pudding, peach cobbler, and pound cake, what would you rate from number 1 to number 4?
Okay. Give me the ones again. It was what?
Sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato pie.
Banana pudding. Peach cobbler, and pound cake.
I'm going to go in reverse order. Banana pudding is absolutely at the end because of what I talked about earlier. I don't eat bananas. I don't like anything banana flavored. I don't want anything banana, period. Occasionally, I will say this, I will have a piece of like banana bread, but it is so tiny, the piece that I have, because I can't stand the taste of it. And I'll have bananas in like a hummingbird cake, but it's rare there. But banana pudding is 4th. Let's see. Sweet potato pie is probably 3 for me. I like sweet potato pie, but that was another thing that we had all the time growing up. And so anytime there was an event, a church event or Thanksgiving or something like that, we always had sweet potato pie. So I've got my fill of sweet potato pie. So if I can not have it, I usually will opt out.
Okay.
Between peach cobbler and pound cake, I'm going to say number 2 would be, oh God. That's hard. It's a toss-up between peach cobbler and pound cake. And here's why it's a toss-up. Okay. It depends on how the peach cobbler is made. If the peach cobbler crust is actual pie crust and not cake mix,
or
which is a dump cake or a biscuit dough, then it might make number 2 for me, because I do kind of like the consistency of like a cake or a biscuit dough, something like that. It depends. And then pound cake, it depends on how, even though pound cake is supposed to be dense, there are instances where pound cake can be a little bit moist and flavorful, but some pound cakes that I have are not that. And so it just depends on that. So if I had to lock it in, banana pudding is 4, sweet potato pie is 3.
Okay.
Pound cake is 2, peach cobbler is 1. I'll say that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. What about you?
Dead last is going to be sweet potato pie. Because I know what it tastes like. It's just not something that I like. Like I love a candied yam. I do not like a sweet potato pie.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can't move it any further from out of that.
Not a patty one either.
No, nobody.
Especially not a patty.
I don't even eat my mom's sweet potato pie. So I'll taste it, but a whole slice, I couldn't tell you the last time I had one. I just cut a sliver and be like, yeah, it tastes fine. So if it tastes fine to me, it should be awesome to other people. It's just not something that I do. Banana pudding would come in 3rd. And that's only because I don't eat the bananas, or when I used to even have it. My mom would make it all the time for my granddad. She would make it for herself without bananas.
Yes,
And
my
I did
aunt
not
does
know
the
that she
same
did
thing.
that. So I would eat around the bananas. I would eat the meringue because my mom, she cooked it and baked it and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, see,
I love
we
the
don't do that.
meringue. That was awesome. But like the bananas itself, no. So
And I
that's
don't
the
like
one thing that
meringue.
gives it. Yeah, see?
Yeah, and I don't like meringue. I will take the meringue off a lemon meringue pie and put whipped cream on it instead. I would throw the meringue in the trash, but yeah, I don't care for it like that.
Yeah, so I feel like banana pudding has the redeeming factor that I will at least eat around the bananas. So that what gives it rank above the sweet potato pie. And just like you, with peach cobbler, which is going to be number 2, it's because I like the crust. Do not give me the biscuity, the dump cakey, the dumpling style of peach cobbler. I do not like that cakiness. I like a liquidy, syrupy, fruity bottom.
Okay. Yeah.
And a crispy, buttery crust that
Buttery
I can
top. Yeah.
crack that into that syrup and then lift up that good syrupiness onto that crust. It's all about the crust. And I don't know. I feel like it's the Southerners do that more than the Northerners. I think the Northerners do that cakey type of deal, and I don't like that. And then rounding out the number 1 is going to be pound cake. Now everybody can't make a good
one
of
those too. You make a good one of those too.
Yes, thank you. Pound cake is going to be number 1, and I guess that's again because that's something that I know how to make very well. I've never made a peach cobbler or banana pudding. I tried to make a sweet potato pie thing; it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But yeah, pound cake definitely because you can do so many different things with pound cakes. It can be a little bit lighter, it can be a little bit denser and still good. As long as it's moist, I'm all for it. But yes, pound cake definitely moist. Number 1 when it comes to ranking Black people's desserts for me. Yeah. Yes, indeed. All right. So we're running a little long tonight, but that's all right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. So to close this out, we can choose to live to eat or eat to live. Food can be fun. It can be enjoyable. It can be trendy. It can be social. And it can be healthy as well. Too much of anything can be bad for you and can not be enjoyable if it's too much goodness. Like I said, I can't do the meal prep for too long. I'm going to fall out of it. But I know that doing meal prep is fine and good for other people.
Yes.
Who wants to eat grilled chicken and broccoli all the time? I know I don't. You want to have that piece of cake, that bowl of ice cream, that slice of pie every now and then. You got to live a little, as long as you do things in moderation. So, but it's okay to have goals to look more desirable, and it's okay to have a goal to be healthier. If the healthiness comes with abs, what's wrong with that? So be it. Just make sure that whatever fitness program or food program that you are thinking about going into, consult with a healthcare professional. Make sure that you do things the right way. Just don't start it out because you've seen some cute dude on Instagram doing it. It may not work for you. Do your research. Talk to a healthcare professional before you start any of these programs. 1 meal a day may not be good for you if you have certain health conditions. So make sure you get that checked out. All right. So talking about all this food has made me hungry. I don't know about you.
I'm going to go have a donut.
Have your hot dogs and potatoes.
I'm going to see. I might not have time to go grab it. I have another appointment, but we'll see. I might though. We'll see.
But yeah, all this talk of food has made me hungry. I know that's for sure. But what about you guys? What's some of your cheat meals? What's something that you've done for food? Let us know in the comments. Who makes the best sweet potato pie in your family? Or what's that weird thing that y'all eat? Let us know. We want to talk to you about it. All right. So let's go ahead and wrap it up today. Thanks for watching Just Drawz. We hope you felt the love, laughed a little bit, and maybe learned something new.
So remember, though, the conversation does not stop here. We just told you we want to hear from you. So you can follow us individually on social media. You can let us know your thoughts. You can share your stories, or you can just talk to us about your moist, fruity bottom or your brown, crispy tops.
That's right. Until then, just be bold, just be beautiful, and most importantly, just be healthy.
Yeah, we'll catch y'all next time.
All right. Peace.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Now be sure to like, share, and follow us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and Spotify at Just Drawz. That's JUSTDRAWZ. Until next time,